Shout out Q. Shout out Q.
Here at Jim Barnett Park, where the John Handley Judges baseball team takes the field their second day of official practice. It is early, but baseball is right around the corner. Catcher Charlie Allen joining me here on the Kirby on Sports podcast. Charlie, thanks for your time. First and foremost, just how's it feel the past couple of days through tryouts into the start of practice? Some pretty warm days. That must be really nice to get out early and you're not trapped inside practicing.
It feels great, man. I always love getting some 60-degree weather days in February. It makes me really happy to come out here, throw, catch, hit some baseballs. That's all I love, man.
So take me through last season. Just what do you like most out of last season from this Judges baseball team, and what yourself and team-wise are you looking to sort of improve come this upcoming season?
Last season we had a great group of guys. You know, it was kind of like a brotherhood we had out here on the field. Landon, Kaplan, Stage, 3 seniors from last year really led us to a great season, one of our best seasons in the past couple of years. And I'm really hoping to improve on that, you know, keep going in the direction we have been going, increase this brotherhood that we have, and, you know, keep making relationships out here along with winning. So.
What's sort of your typical off season? Are you playing travel, taking a break? What's that like to sort of get better and prepare for another season ahead?
Yeah, I'm constantly in the weight room, but I play travel with the Snyder Bucks out in Northern Virginia, and that allows me to work with some other guys from other Virginia high schools and, you know, make some friends and play some high-level baseball. So.
You mentioned high-level baseball, playing and travel. In the landscape of travel baseball, you're playing a lot of games over the course of a weekend. High school baseball, it's one game, maybe two, depending on weather and double headers. But the max you're playing is 2. How huge is that in terms of playing so many games and travel to get set for your high school baseball season to try to advance, excel, and get the best you can be?
Yeah, absolutely. In travel, everything's so condensed. You know, you're getting so many reps at the same time. And then when you come to high school baseball, you know, you're getting all those reps more spread apart, and you can focus with more quality on all those reps. So that's what I like so much about that.
So as the catcher on this team, it's a pretty big responsibility. You're back there maybe giving signs to your outfield. The catcher-pitcher communication is huge in that aspect, I would imagine. How important is that when you maybe have some newer pitchers coming up or some veteran pitchers that you've worked with for a while? What is that relationship like as a high school catcher?
Well, the relationship all comes from trust and confidence. If the pitcher trusts me and he trusts himself and he's confident in what he's doing, a pitcher can succeed and execute every time. So.
And just, too, you know, pitchers, they hit their zones, hit their targets, but sometimes that confidence, if you're not hitting your spots or whatnot, how do you sort of uplift them through the highs and the lows when they're out on the mound?
You erase the lows and praise the highs, and that's really what you got to focus on. When they're doing well, you really got to help them remember what it feels like to do well, and when they're doing bad, you got to help them forget what it feels like to do bad.
Absolutely. So just take me through the teams out there stretching right now, but just what's it like being back with your guys, and maybe as a senior on this team, what's it like sort of having some newcomers and bringing them up through this system to sort of let them know what's sort of expected out of Coach Wingfield's program?
Coach Wingfield's program is full of hard work, but it's full of fun, and it's full of appreciation and brotherhood. So all these guys coming through, they're learning, but they've got a lot to learn, but you know, it's something that I've loved all 4 years, so I'm excited for everybody else to experience it.
You're a senior here on this Handley baseball team. I imagine you've seen a lot of competition out of the Northwestern District. I just want your thoughts because I'm not too familiar with baseball out here in the Northwestern District. But what's the competition like, and what's it like playing in the district?
The district is highly competitive. You know, the guys at James Wood, Millbrook, and Shenandoah are all absolutely talented, with Poulin at James Wood and Jenkins at Millbrook and Bodenshots at Shenandoah all being coaches I'd put up next to anybody. They can all build great programs, and they all have done it and shown it in the past. So competition in the Northwestern District is second to none.
And last but not least, Charlie, just what are you looking forward to most as the preseason, your preseason practices progress, getting set for a new season?
I'm looking forward to having fun, most importantly, and getting to know the new guys and, you know, getting ramped up. Our first scrimmage is next Friday, so I'm looking forward to that.
Charlie Allen, Handley Baseball, right here on the Kirby on Sports podcast. My friend, thanks for the time, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you so much, Kirby. I appreciate your time.
Now joined by junior pitcher Jake Swartz here at the Handley Baseball Diamond. Jake, how's it feel just getting back out here?
I love it. I've missed it so much. We got a nice, warm first week. It's been amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and how does it feel? Like, the warm weather, you're not stuck inside practicing, hitting indoors. You get to feel the conditions pretty early as you get set for regular season baseball, or does that not make a difference?
Oh, it's so much better. My arm feels good and warm. I don't have to wear like a bunch of layers. It's amazing. I'm just glad to be back out here.
So what's it like, a junior pitcher? You're working with Charlie a lot too, and Coach Wingfield has spoke very highly of you. Just what's it like in that role, being sort of like in command as the pitcher and working with Charlie so well?
I love it. I love feeling all the pressure. That's when I do best, when I have a lot of weight on my shoulders. And me and Charlie have been really good friends since we've been little, so we can always come out here, work hard together. It's amazing. It's great to have a good relationship with Charlie, and I have a great relationship with Wingfield. He was one of my second grade math teachers a little bit, so I've known everyone on this team for a really long time. Good to have a lot of those connections.
Yeah, absolutely. And just last but not least, what are you looking forward to most as regular season baseball starts about 2.5 weeks away?
Probably just getting out there and throwing hard, just competition. That's my favorite part, competition.
There you go, Jake Swartz right here on the Kirby on Sports podcast. Jake, best of luck to you this season. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
I'm now joined at the Handley Baseball Diamond by longtime head coach Patrick Wingfield. Coach, thanks for having us out here today. First and foremost, I got to ask, last season you were kind of on the IR. How are you feeling sort of coaching in a knee scooter? That's probably not ideal, but how are you feeling? You're out walking around, can do your job normally?
Yeah, it's so much better this year. That was pretty disappointing last year because we had a good squad and we were progressing, and then fluke injury, and I was out for a little while with a torn Achilles, and now I'm not fully back to not running or anything, but I'm doing all right. I can do everything coach-wise at least, so it's good.
Yeah, an injury like that too, as a coach, that sort of it disables you from doing everything. With baseball being a complex sport, you sort of have to delegate. And this might be not that important, but I just want to ask from that aspect, sort of what did you have to change in not having full control in a sense?
Sure. So I was lucky to have Mark Timmons, who was a coach with me for a long time. He's an administrator now, so he was kind of not as involved. But when I got hurt, he kind of was able to take over third base coach and do some things. So he was there without me. Coach Connors was new to us last year, but we had people around that were able to fill in, all the way down to you don't know all the stuff you got to do that you do to prepare the game. My family got involved and helped out too. It was full team effort.
So, Coach, just how does it feel getting back out here? It's a beautiful day. You've had great weather through your tryout period. Just how does it feel getting out and you're not limited to the indoor space of a practice gym?
Yes, absolutely. We try to stay out of the indoor all we can. We have a pretty nice new cage in there, but hey, if we can be out here, even if it's in that cage, we'd rather be outside and getting a lot more done, a lot more active. So it's been great. Got good weather. It's gonna be a little colder next week, but it's still gonna be all right. So it's great. We're getting a lot done early on in the season here.
So I know it's early, but just take me through some of the guys on your team. I know some returners, and just take me through the makeup of your team in your mind and what stands out to you early on.
Okay, I start with Charlie Allen. He's our he's fourth year as varsity player. He's our catcher. He's our leader. He calls pitches most of the time. He controls the game pitching wise, and I'm fully trust him at this point. So we kind of think the same at this point. So it's good. He'll be big this year for us. On the mound, Jake Swartz will be our number one going into the season. He's rising junior, or he's a junior this year. Last year as a sophomore, he did pretty well from time to time. He had a little bit of injuries in the middle of the season that kind of set him back. So he's coming in healthy, kind of ready to go, and he'll be huge for us. Logan Ambrose, not with us. Logan Ambrose and Will Bonduran still playing basketball, of course. So they'll catch up when they need to. Okay, hopefully go pretty far in basketball first, and they'll be huge parts of our defense and offense too. Logan's a senior who's been with us all 5 years here, and he's mostly maintained in center field, kind of where he'll be, but he's kind of versatile. He might be catching Charlie when Charlie's pitching, things like that. And again, blessing to get Will, because he's a basketball first guy, but when he comes out here, he can really compete in the baseball field too.
So, in terms of Bonduran and Ambrose, who are currently playing basketball deep in the postseason right now, does that sort of affect your planning in terms of if you have a game and they're still in the postseason per se? I'm not really sure the dates off the top of my head, but does that sort of limit you in a way, or do you have a sort of a backup plan?
The postseason, even state finals, will be before our first game, so they won't miss a game per se. But it's tough to transition straight from a different sport like that. They're not getting a lot of reps right now. Logan a little more than Will. Will's really focused on base basketball, which he absolutely should be. But Logan's getting some time. He's gonna come out here when he can and kind of get ready. And I think they'll be fine. It might take him a little longer to get going, but we have. You prepare for that. You prepare for guys to get injured, be absent, all that kind of stuff. So we'll be ready.
And the multi-sport aspect of it, how do you like people from basketball or maybe football coming out to play baseball for your squad?
Oh, it's always better. Okay, if you get a three-sport athlete, then they can compete, they can handle the pressure. They're competing at the highest level right now. I mean, they're going to regionals, they're going to states. They'll be going to states here next week. Like you want those guys to be in those situations. Sometimes it doesn't matter what sport you're playing. If you're in those situations, when you get out here on the baseball field and you get that pressure at home plate, then it's nothing to you because you've already been in that pressure somewhere else.
So, rewind. You mentioned Charlie Allen, a senior on your team. I would imagine as one of your starting catchers, big leader to you, that catcher-pitcher relationship, no matter who's on the mound. What's that like in your mind, and how huge is it to have Charlie behind the plate for that?
It's big. I can think of my own personal experience being very comfortable. TJ Clark was my catcher throughout high school, and I was very comfortable with him. He knew what I wanted to do. I knew what we were trying to do to each hitter. And we'll just talk about Jake and Charlie right now. The number one pitcher and catcher. They have a special relationship. Okay, it's like a brotherly thing where they're fighting at times, all that kind of stuff, and that's kind of what you want to be able to openly communicate with catcher. And I think they have a good relationship. They know what they want. After last year, especially, they kind of build off that, and they'll be good.
So, and also as a head coach, you're responsible for so many things. What's it like, just touching on Charlie again, having a leader like that as a senior on your team?
Oh, it's big because he's been here for a while. So when you have a guy that's really been through the program year in and year out, he knows exactly what we're going to do. He could probably write the practice plan the same way I would. So having a guy like that can stand up, help new guys that are in the program and all that kind of stuff, it helps out tremendously.
So take me through last season, sort of in your mind, what really stood out to you positively, and maybe some things you're working on improving a little bit come this season.
Sure. Last season we had, overall it was a good season, but we had a lot of games that slipped away from us that we really should have either been more in and had a chance to win the game, or some games flat out we should have won and we let slip away. So it's always building off that with the guys that are coming back, understanding that the little things early on in the game matter, like the little small ball that we do in the first through third inning can come back to help or hurt later on in the game. So it's getting those small details down, be it securing the ball, being better on defense, making sure that we aren't giving guys extra outs. Those are really the huge things that we need to focus on.
And just to wrap this up, the Northwestern District competition around the area is huge. You've been around the Northwestern District for quite some time. I just want your thoughts on what's it like just playing in this district.
Yeah, it's always very competitive, and it's always, you have few guys you can see play further on into college. We sent a few this past year that are going to be playing at different levels here in the future, and Millbrook sent some guys. Shenandoah's always had a squad. James Wood too. James Wood's up and coming. It's been recent, but they're very good. So these local schools, it's not necessarily the entire district, but very much so the local schools are very competitive. It's not only a rivalry game, but it's also usually the best competition we're going to see all year.
So take me through, last question here. You've been with Handley for so long, and you coach football as well, had the honor of getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this past football season. I saw you walk across the football field for that. Well, what's it like being a valued coach member of Handley High School for so long in that honor of Hall of Fame status as we've reached the baseball season?
Sure. I greatly appreciate it. It's as I tell people, I honestly wouldn't be a teacher and coach if it wasn't at Handley. It's kind of Handley that brought me back and made me want to do this and be with the kids that have been through going through the same situations that I was growing up, or different things like that. Just making the community better is really my number one goal whenever we're doing this. So win or lose, if we're great or if we're not, it's not about that. It's about really improving as people, improving as a team, improving our game along the way, and I think it means a lot to me if we can improve these kids, improve their lives just a little bit. It means a lot to me because I know I want to improve this community around me.
It smells like baseball right around the corner, about 2.5 weeks away, and pleased to be at the Handley Baseball Diamond with head coach Patrick Wingfield. Really appreciate your time and looking forward to working with you all season.
Yep, I appreciate it. Thank you.